Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the All Sports Focus podcast on the All Sports Focus Network. We are here with a full freaking squad. We got all six of us. We got Pap, Garrett, Sean, Ryan, and Troy. Say what's up, everybody.
What's
What's
up,
up?
everybody?
Glad to finally have the full squad back with us. We're going to be talking some college football and some NFL wildcard games this week. Obviously, focusing on the two semifinal games for the college football playoffs. Kind of a crazy playoff so far. Kind of the same scenario as last year where three of the four teams with a bye lost. Indiana was the only team to really break that streak. The teams with the byes are now 1-7 in the 2 years. So that's not very good record-wise at all. So we're obviously going to be starting off with the Ole Miss and the Miami game. Two very big upsets for them to even get here. I'm going to go to Troy. Troy, I'm picking on you first. What were your just thoughts on that Ole Miss Georgia game? Like, how did Ole Miss pull that upset off?
Trinidad. That's how they did it. I don't know. That offense, it just didn't really seem to come together. And obviously their run defense just was not there at all. But you gotta give respect to Ole Miss for doing this without their actual head coach, Lane Kiffin. That's why I low-key want to see them in the finals. I low-key want to see them win now, just to stick to Lane. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was surprised. I thought Georgia was going to win it all, and then they lost to a no head coach Ole Miss team, and I was like, okay, never mind then.
Yeah. At all costs, Georgia needs to avoid the Sugar Bowl based on the fact that they have lost in back-to-back years in the Sugar Bowl. So hopefully the committee stops screwing them over and putting them in New Orleans. I guess that's like their kryptonite. So Sean, or we'll go to Sean. Sean, what were your thoughts on the Miami team beating Ohio State? I don't know if you were able to watch that game, but it'd be crazy.
I was shocked. I had Ohio State winning everything. So Miami winning beyond the first round was shocking to me. So them beating Ohio State, who obviously, like I said, I had winning the entire thing. I was floored, you know. I still don't know how great Miami is, but you gotta be decent at least to be in this Final Four that we have now.
Yeah, completely agree. All right, so now focusing on the game itself between Miami and Ole Miss. Pap, we're going to go to you first. Who is your winner here between Miami and Ole Miss?
I like Miami. As much as it pains me to say it, I do like Miami in this game. They look really good. I wouldn't say like they're gonna like steamroll them or anything by that, but I think it's gonna be a close game. I think Miami just plays a lot tougher than Ole Miss, and they kind of just run the ball really hard with what's his name, Mark Fletcher, right? Yeah. Yeah, he runs the ball really hard. I think it's gonna be too much for Ole Miss to handle, and they'll move on to the national championship.
All right. Garrett, who is your winner between Miami and Ole Miss?
Honestly, I think Miami's going to pull it out too as well. You look at, I always said Carson Beck, man, has been shocking me actually lately. I mean, he hasn't been playing bad, so I feel like if he comes out and keeps throwing the ball good, I mean, he's got people blocking for him. I mean, they're Miami's offense is looking really good, so I think I'm going to go with Miami on this one.
As long as Carson Beck doesn't turn the ball over, he looks pretty good. That's always been
Yeah,
his biggest worry, but
yeah.
he hasn't done so far in the playoffs. So,
Doesn't look too bad.
Sean, who is your winner between Miami and Ole Miss?
Let's go with Ole Miss. Trinidad Chambly, he's been looking crazy. People have been saying a little Mahomey in these past two games. So you know what? Let's go with Ole Miss and make Troy's wishes come true.
All right, Ryan, who is your winner between Miami and Ole Miss?
I think Miami wins this one. Ole Miss is losing like all of their offensive assistants besides Charlie Weiss Jr. And I just think at some point it has to catch up to them that all of these coaches have been flying all over and not really there. And said Charlie Weiss flew to Baton Rouge and back like twice just in this past week. When you're preparing for this Miami defense, especially with the way their front seven has been playing all throughout the playoffs and the pressure that they got on Julian Sand and the way they shut down Ohio State's offense. I think if your offensive coordinator is not 100% focused, I don't know that you can get it done against them. So I think a turnover or two plays the difference in this, and Miami gets it done.
Troy, who is your winner?
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with Ryan on the fact that the Miami defense has just been looking phenomenal, especially the front seven. And having the coaches not there all the time in a clutch playoff game in the semifinals is going to be huge. But I think Carson Beck's gonna tear his UCL in the semifinals again. So they won't make it to the
It actually happened
finals.
in the SEC championship last year.
Oh, okay,
But
anyway, he's not gonna
wow,
make it, but that will be why they lose in the semis. Anyway, yeah, I
we're
think Ole Miss
pre-firing injuries now, Troy. That's what we're doing. That's how
hey, you gotta
low
do
we're going.
you gotta do what you gotta do. Think
That's
Trinidad
cra that's
I think Trinidad's still gonna get it done regardless. I think Ole Miss still they're playing with a chip on their shoulder, and I think when the team has to do that, I think it does good things for them. So I think Ole Miss is gonna win it,
All right.
and
Well,
I'm not
that's
so if that does happen,
making sure he had to cover his bases there. I'm gonna go with Miami. I think the way they played against against Ohio State, running the ball, I think is what's gonna get them this win over Ole Miss. They're just Mark Fletcher's a freaking beast in the backfield, and then add in Malachi Tony as a weapon on the outside. I think it's gonna be too much for Ole Miss to handle. I think it'll be a close game, but I'm gonna pick Miami to win this one. So we went 4-2 there on that game pick. Moving on here to Indiana and Oregon. Obviously, Indiana gave Alabama, no, sorry, Garrett. They gave Alabama some absolute belt to ass in the
yeah,
Rose Bowl.
they sure did.
And then Oregon did basically the same thing to Texas Tech in the Orange Bowl. It made it look like Texas Tech's quarterback has never played football before. Both of these teams had very lopsided, ugly blowouts in the quarterfinals, but these two teams did meet in the regular season, and Indiana got the win in Eugene. So, Pap, what were your just quick thoughts on the Oregon-Texas Tech game? How did Oregon look in that one?
Oregon
I think it's
looked.
pretty
I mean, I
obvious,
know
but
it's only 16-0, but they look dominant. Dan Lanning's a great coach, and yeah, I mean, he's gonna do what he has to do to put his team in the best position to win.
hmm. All right, and then the Alabama-Indiana game, Garrett, sorry to pick on you, but I'm gonna ask you what
Uh,
Indiana did well against Alabama. What did they do to win that game?
well, I mean, they did everything that Alabama couldn't do. I mean, they scored. I mean, they were blocking for Mendoza. I mean, he was out there putting on a clinic. I mean, Alabama just looked horrible. I mean, the defense, even Indiana's defense came out and played too as well, getting to tie, forcing, just putting a lot of pressure on them as well, which is going to be the key, against Oregon as well. But yeah, I mean, they did everything that Alabama couldn't do basically, and it showed.
I mean, if you would have told me, I know I've said this about 15 times on this podcast, but if you would have told me that Indiana would be, let alone in the semifinals of the college football playoff, but beating Alabama in the quarterfinals by 30 points, I would have said you're batshit crazy. And also want to put out there, while we're talking about Indiana, I've seen some rumors about Kurt Signetti going to the NFL. I think that is the stupidest rumor and just people looking for stories and clicks right now. Because Kurt Signetti on top of the freaking world. And if you haven't noticed, they're absolutely dominating the transfer portal as well. So their team's going to be equally as good as this year's as they will be next year. So, I mean, watch out for Indiana. There's no reason. It's like Marcus Freeman not taking or even listening to any NFL jobs. Why would you? You got a great scenario going on. Might as well stay. No point in leaving. All right, so moving on and focusing on the actual game itself on Friday between Oregon and Indiana. A rematch, like I mentioned. Pap, who is your winner?
I like Oregon. I really do. Hard to beat a team twice. Dan Lanning's is going to outcoach Kurt Signetti. I think Kurt Signetti's good, but the last couple of games he's lost, he's just got simply outcoached. I mean, he lost to Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman had him in a freaking Ziploc bag. And then also with Ryan Day last year, those last two games that they've lost, that I just remember Kurt Signetty just seemed a little flustered, and I think Oregon's going to throw the whole bag of tricks at him, and I think they're going to be just too much to handle. Fernando Mendoza has autism, so it's going to be a lot for him.
You say
Okay,
that?
all right, Garrett.
You know what? I'm just gonna go with Mendoza and Indiana on that. After
Yeah.
Pat just said that, just to love to see it, man. But I'm gonna take Indiana. It's gonna be closer than what I imagine it would be. But I'm gonna go with Indiana on this one.
All right, Sean.
Like Pap said, it's hard to beat a team twice, but no, not the other thing you said.
Yeah,
But,
you're on your own on that one.
but I'm rooting for Mendoza to get the little trifecta where you win Heisman, win the national championship, and then go first overall in the draft. So I am rooting for Mendoza. I'm rooting for Indiana. But in that case, I guess I should go for Oregon because every other team I've picked has lost. So Fade me if you're betting.
Sean's gonna play some reverse psychology here, and he's gonna pick
Right.
Oregon, but he's rooting for Indiana. So keep that in
Yes.
mind. All right, Ryan, who's your winner?
I just want to address. So Pap said the last couple of games they've only lost 2 games, and they were both last year
Yeah, I was
to the
addressing
eventual
why they
national
lost.
champion and the eventual
runner-up.
national runner-up. And both of those games, they were not necessarily out-coached. It was just they had no players. Nobody expected them to be there. They didn't have any good players.
They, like,
And so
they-
this
they
year when they actually do
literally
have,
got Mendoza, and then like their team was about the same. Besides them getting like Notre Dame
their
center,
running backs
backup
are
center.
insane. And their
Because of
wide
their
Running backs were on the
receivers.
team last year, though. I will say they were both on the team last year.
Yeah, but they didn't have the O-line. They got Pat Coogan from Notre Dame when Notre Dame wouldn't pay him NIL.
We don't pay
He's
shit.
having himself a great college career. He might have 2 straight natty appearances. Hopefully, he might win this one. All right, Ryan, who's your winner?
So I like Indiana here. I don't think Indiana played anywhere close to their potential. This game was in like week 6 when they played last, and it was in Eugene, and Mendoza was not looking like the version that we're seeing now. This offense was not looking like the version we're seeing now, and this defense certainly was not. And they still, I mean, Mendoza threw a pick 6 in the 4th quarter, and they still won. So I think the Indiana version that we're seeing now is a ruthless step on your throat type of version. It is the Alabamas of the past. It is the Saban pissed off on the sidelines as we're up 38-0 or 38-3. So I think Indiana gets it done. Not being in a hostile territory, they're going to be in Atlanta. There's going to be a lot of red there, and I think they get it done and go to the national championship.
All right, Troy, who's your winner?
As much as it pains me to say it, Indiana's gonna just absolutely BTA Oregon, dude. I'm talking like absolute devastation. Dante Moore is gonna throw like 3 picks. Mendoza's gonna throw like 6 touchdowns, dude. Like Indiana is just gonna whoop them.
All right, well, it's tough to follow that one up, but I'm going to pick Indiana as well. And I wouldn't say solely based on this, but a big piece of it is Oregon's starting running back is out for this game with a broken collarbone. So I do think that will play a big factor in it, as the last like 4 weeks of the season, he's been running crazy, but now he's obviously not playing. But obviously, I'm picking Mendoza and the Heisman winner. Obviously, everybody can argue it was a down year for the Heisman. Whoop-de-doo.
Troy.
His name is he still won the Heisman, so you can't really take that away from him. Yes, it was a down year. I'm not arguing that, but he still won. But
Syndrome.
I think Indiana's just obviously been the most complete team all year, and they've looked like it, especially against Alabama. I mean, beating Ohio State too. Obviously, wasn't in such dominant fashion, but beating Ohio State. So I think we got Indiana winning this one. So with that being said, who did everybody pick? I wrote it down, but Pap, you have an Ole Miss, Oregon,
Yeah.
championship.
Yes. No, Miami, Oregon.
Miami, Oregon. Garrett, you have Miami.
Miami and Indiana.
Indiana. Sean, I believe you picked Ole Miss and technically Oregon. And then Ryan was Miami and Indiana. And Troy, you were Ole Miss and Indiana as well. And then I'm Indiana, Miami. Kind of around the same. I don't think I ever would have predicted, if you would have saw in the video that I made, I predicted all 4 of the top seeds were going to make it. Very boring of me, and look where we are now. So, moving on here to the NFL, to the wild card slate. Shout out Troy, the 8-9 Panthers get in the playoffs.
Come on, man.
I think it's I still
the
think
Saints
it's
did everything they possibly could to
lose
make
that
Troy
game.
sweat until the very last second.
Yeah,
Tyler
terrible.
Shuck's last drive, marching them all the way down. And Troy, how much were you sweating when he threw that absolute dime piece for a
No,
touchdown?
bro, because you guys texted in the group chat like, "Oh, that's game over." I'm like, "No, it's not. The Falcons can't move the ball."
If
He marched
if
them
you
right
guys-
down and threw
And
that
then just
absolute
one-handed
beauty
catches,
for a
like, I'm
touchdown.
like,
If you guys could see our group chat, there's been probably at least 10 times I've texted in the group chat, be like, wow, this game's over, and then the other team comes back and wins. So that's kind of the devil's magic I was trying to pull on the Panthers there, because they lost my parlay the day before. So I was rooting for the Saints. So I was like, all right, this game's over, hoping that the Saints would come back, but they didn't. So the Rams and the Panthers get a little rematch here of a couple weeks ago where the Rams lost in Carolina. We're just going to go around. We're going to give our winners. Obviously, we've talked about these teams for 18 weeks now, so there's not really much left to really talk about them. So we're just going to kind of focus on the games and pick the winners here. So, Pap, who's your winner between the Rams and the Panthers?
Rams.
Rams? Garrett?
Sorry, Troy. Rams.
All right. Sean?
Panthers have been really good lately, so I think I am going to go with the Rams.
All right. Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, the Panthers have been playing well, so I think they
Yeah.
keep it within 28 points of the Rams.
Jesus Christ. All right. Troy, I'm going to give you, I know I just said we're going to pick our winners, but I'm going to give you the floor. Give me one good reason why the Panthers are going to win this game besides them beating them a couple weeks ago when Matt Stafford threw.
Well, the first question is, does Troy even think the Panthers are going to beat them?
Yeah.
Non-biased.
Yes.
Look at this from an outside source. Do you think they can beat them?
I think
They can beat the spread.
I honestly think they. Okay.
Troy, give me a
what is
reason
the
why
Are we
they win.
not-
I'm
okay.
listening.
If I'm not mistaken,
2.5.
we're playing in Charlotte. We're playing in Charlotte again. If I'm not mistaken here, which is
Bottom
huge.
5 atmosphere
We have
in the
no,
NFL.
but we have one of the best home records this
Ooh,
year.
God.
So I don't want to hear all that. We have one of the best home records. Bryce Young has been playing well. J.C. Horn's gonna get his head out of his ass. Mike Jackson's been playing like a top 3 corner the past couple weeks.
Top 3 on the team or top 3 in the NFL?
And the NFL, if you actually look at, hey, yeah, Pap, you don't know ball. Have fun in Cancun, bro. Have fun.
By the way, every team in the NFC North.
Lions are ass.
Every team in the NFC North.
The Lions had a better record than the Panthers.
Hey, and someone's in the playoffs. Someone's in the playoffs and someone's not.
I will say, I understand the purpose of like division winners auto getting into the playoffs, but I do think they should change it where like, no offense, an 8-9 team should not be hosting a playoff game.
Okay, dude.
Agreed.
Like, they could get in the playoffs. That's fine. I'm not going to argue that, but they should be going on the road.
Bro, our division had
should-
more wins than like 3 other divisions. So I really don't want to hear it, dude.
But
It's
not
true.
a
I
single
saw
team
it.
had a winning record.
We
Yeah,
had
not
more.
a single
Our
one was
division had
over
our division.
500.
So.
You probably have more wins than the
You're
NFC
talking
East.
about like you're talking about like the NFC or no,
East.
sorry,
For the
AFC.
East.
Even the AFC with the Bills. I mean, the Bills and Patriots have wins, but then the freaking Dolphins and Jets have like
Jets.
5 and.
It's definitely because the NFC East, because all 4 of the teams played like top 5 of the hardest schedules this year.
Yes.
And then add in the Commanders and the Giants just both suck in general. So hard schedule plus a crappy team.
Because the
ain't gonna equal
Panthers'
many
schedule
wins.
wasn't hard. Yeah, all right.
Panthers didn't really
schedule
win
was
any
difficult.
big games outside
I
of
mean,
that.
yeah.
Didn't really play any
You
big
beat
games.
the freaking Bears. I mean, you beat the bad news Bears.
You
There's
play
no-
the Saints
you beat
twice.
the Bears.
You play the
You beat all
Bucks
these
We
teams.
twice.
played.
Yeah,
We played
how'd it go against the Saints?
We played the Packers. We played the Seahawks. We played the Rams. We played the Cowboys, who aren't bad. Their defense is
Hey,
ass, but
Troy,
their
how'd it go
offense is
against the
top 5.
Saints?
And you beat the Rams. Every other team you lost by like probably.
We're
what,
in the playoffs.
15,
Okay,
man. That's
the
what matters.
Panthers, the Panthers do not deserve this much speaking time about their game.
You're the one that
Everybody's
told
picking
me
the
to
Rams,
talk.
but Troy.
I would have been fine with just.
I
saying the Panthers.
I did tell you to talk. Your reasoning was a home field advantage and Bryce Young. Not great reasons, but we're gonna ride with them. We're gonna move on to the Saturday night game between the Bears and the Packers here. Another rematch. This will be the 3rd time between these two teams. Obviously, little bad blood for Pap here. Obviously, I think he wished neither of these teams could win. But Pap, who is your winner?
I'll never pick the Bears, so Packers.
Okay, Garrett,
I'm gonna go with the Bears. I'm gonna
Alright.
go with the Bears.
Sean,
Go Bears.
Ryan.
Windy City, go Bears.
All right, Troy.
I've been saying it. The Packers are gonna win it. I just don't think the Bears can beat them twice in the season. I just don't see that happening.
And then I'm gonna pick the Bears. I don't know. I just think the Packers are just kind of like limping into the playoffs here. I mean, they obviously Jordan Love's been hurt, but I'm gonna pick the Bears. I think Soldier Field will give them at least some field of advantage. Pap, yes, you're raising your hand.
Let me remind you that the Bears, in a sense, limping into the playoffs as well.
Yeah.
They won on a
No, yeah.
onside kick, and then the 49ers. The 49ers proved what they were. That their offenses was stagnant against the Seahawks, and then, their defense. I think I think Garrett played corner last week. So, I mean,
That's
just
crazy.
like I'm just saying, like it's like there's not like the Bears are good. Yes, I'll say the Bears are a good team, but like the Packers, when Jordan Love plays and he is completely healthy and plays the entire game, he's 4-0. So, like against the Bears in like the last couple of years, I think, and also just in general, he's a good quarterback. And I just don't think the Bears like have enough luck left in the tank. So,
I've got one name that is going to lose
I
the
will
Bears the
say,
game single-handedly, Nashawn Wright. That dude couldn't cover
oh yeah,
anyone
he's trash.
ever. He's
he's a
terrible.
cornerback, correct? I don't really know
Yeah,
the
Yeah,
he's
he's
Bears
a
bad.
nickel corner, and
secondary
he's
name.
terrible.
Okay. So he's probably going to get torched by Christian Watson or someone
Yep.
like that a couple times. All right, moving on to Sunday's game here. Sean and Ryan's Bills. Obviously, no question they were going to get in the playoffs, but it was just where their seating and everything was going to fall. We've said this for the past 2 months, month and a half. If there was ever a freaking time for Josh Allen to make his run to the Super Bowl, this is the year. You got no Patty Mahomes, no Joe Burrow, no Lamar Jackson. It's wide open. And obviously, a lot of people are picking the Bills to beat the Jaguars this weekend in Jacksonville. There is 4 teams this week, by the way, that are home teams that are the underdogs. Kind of crazy to say for an NFL playoff games. I mean, the Steelers are underdogs, the Jags are underdogs, the Bears are underdogs, and the Panthers are underdogs. So, should be very interesting. But Bills, Jaguars, Pap, who's your winner?
Sorry, Ryan and Sean. Sean's a fan, right?
Yep.
Jags.
Okay. Garrett?
This is, I mean, out of the two, I mean, these two teams, to win the AFC, I would want one of these teams to win. And then I'm excited for this game, but I'm going to have to go with the Bills too as well. But Trevor Lawrence has been balling right now, man. The Jags do look good, but I'm going to go with the Bills. Josh's
Right.
year.
Sean? Obviously, I think I know where you're going.
So the Jags have been balling, but the only place that Josh Allen hasn't played in his career, he hasn't played in the 49ers stadium. Where's the Super Bowl this year? 49.
Levi's.
Going all the way, baby. I'm also going to the game on Sunday, so go Bills.
Sweet, dude. That's
Go Bills.
tight.
Go Bills. Go Bills.
Got to get some
Dude, I
watch him
pictures.
lose.
Dude, I was actually thinking about doing it. Like, I was looking at tickets last night. I was like making a drive down there. I think like nosebleeds are going like 300 right now.
Oh,
Which
they're
isn't-
way cheaper now. I checked today.
Are they really?
Yeah, I'll be in Savannah
Dude,
for a
well,
wedding
I'm
on
gonna-
Saturday. So it's only like a 2-hour
Smart.
drive. So we're going
Arr,
to the game.
that'd be sick.
But yes,
You'll
go
see
Bills.
some pictures and videos on the new ASF page that will be launching next week. So, Ryan, obviously, you know who you're picking, but
Yeah, I mean, I think kind of touching on first what you said with the underdogs, I would not be shocked, and I said this in our group chat, I would not be shocked if all 3 AFC wildcard teams win their game this weekend. I would not be shocked if the Chargers get a win, if the Bills and the Texans all win their game, and we have a 1, 5, 6, 7. I do think the Bills get it done for sure. The Bills' run defense is absolutely atrocious, and the Bills' run defense is
He's too
absolutely
old for that.
atrocious.
Stop, guys. He's way too old for that.
Yeah, I don't even have
Bro.
TikTok. So the Bills' run defense is so bad, and the Jaguars' run offense does not scare me whatsoever. Pilot. Yeah, they don't scare me at all. And I think that the Bills' pass defense can get it done enough that Josh Allen is going to win you the game. And the way that James Cook's been running the ball the past, I mean, basically the whole season, was the career or season rushing leader too for the year. So I think between Josh playing well, which he consistently has in the playoffs, and then pairing that with James Cook running well and a run offense with the Jags that isn't great, I think the Bills can get it done.
okay. Troy?
Well, first things first, I gotta say Trevor Lawrence has been on an absolute tear lately, and that's undeniable. But one thing that has stayed consistent is that in the playoffs, Josh Allen plays like Superman, and James Cook has also been an absolute dog this year. So with that being said, I will be taking Josh Allen and the Bills, although Jacksonville has been looking so good, so I would not be too surprised if they do pull it off.
I'm gonna have to side with Pap here. Sorry, Bills fans. I'm gonna take the Jags. I think this is a game that could literally go either way, and it sucks because out of the teams in the AFC, these are like the two teams I would probably root for to win the AFC the most. And I hate that they're playing in the wild card round. But I just like the Jags mentality of this whole, like, they've kind of just been, nobody's really taken them serious all year long. Nobody's really thought they were anything. And look where they are now. I believe they went 13-4. I mean, their biggest win the last couple of weeks was in Denver, and I think that's really going to carry over. And the fact
But
that they're
that has
probably
to
going to take it
put
to,
that you're saying the Denver Broncos are this. I mean, the Giants almost beat them. The Giants should have beaten them. The Giants were up
Broncos are
double digits
fraudulent.
on them.
I'm not saying, again,
You
I'm
can't
not
even talk about the
saying,
Giants, man. They've had
yeah.
many opportunities of that
The
record.
I'm
They
just
Giants,
didn't
the
play
saying
well.
Giants
this
were
is
in
the
10
supposed
one-score
one seed in
games
the
this year and
AFC,
lost 9 of them.
and
Yeah,
the
I
Giants are
understand,
up
but they're
double
still
digits.
Yeah,
they're
no,
still the
Frauds.
one. They're still the one seed. I'm not saying they're not frauds, but they're still the one seed for a reason. They've won X amount of games. I think they won 14. But I think the Jags are really going to take this kind of underdog kind of fight to into this Bills game. The fact that they're underdogs at home in the playoffs, and I think they're going to win this game. All right, moving on to the 49ers and the Eagles. I feel like these teams play every year in the playoffs that these two teams are in it. And it's only right that they're playing the wild card round. Pap just walked away. So we're going to go to Garrett first. Oh, Pap, he's back. All right, Pap, who's your winner between the 49ers and the Eagles?
Eagles. I really thought I thought it was the 49ers year after that, after a couple weeks, but then God, they just looked garbage, absolutely terrible. So I'm just going to take the Eagles with no explanation.
Okay. Garrett?
Due to being in Philly, Philadelphia.
Sean?
I'm going to go with the 49ers. Go George Kittle.
All right. Ryan?
Yeah, I think somebody's ringing my doorbell. I think the Eagles get it done. The 49ers offense is just so up and down, and their defense has been gutted by injuries. So Saquon Barkley runs well, and I think Jalen Hurts makes enough plays to get the Eagles over the hump.
Troy?
As terrible as the Eagles have looked all year, because they've just been playing down to their opponent pretty much every game they've been in, I will take the Eagles here just because the Niners last week did not impress me at all.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the Eagles as well. It pains me to say as a Giants fan, but I just think the 49ers injuries are finally going to catch up to them on the defensive side of the ball, and they're going to unfortunately lose this game. All right, moving on to Sunday Night Football, quote unquote, between the Chargers and the Patriots. 2 versus 7 here, Pap. Who is your winner?
Chargers.
All right, going with a little underdog. All right, Sean. Garrett. Garrett.
Oh, man, I want the Charger to win, but I'm looking at it. It's in New England, cold around this time, so I feel like Drake May and the Patriots found a way. That's the only reason why I pick them. Patriots due to weather.
Due to the Chargers O-line just being absolutely obliterated, I am going to go with the Patriots.
Ryan.
I like the Chargers here. Justin Herbert hasn't played the last couple of weeks, so he's had a chance to get healthy, and we really haven't seen the Patriots do anything against good teams. I think they only ended up actually beating one team over 500, and that was the Bills back in week 6.
Do give them the benefit, though. They had the weakest strength of schedule, so they didn't have, like, the greatest amount of opportunities to, like,
I know,
play
but why
these
not
good
go
teams.
17-0 then, or 16-1?
That is, the Patriots did do what they were supposed to with that schedule that they had. That's where they're at.
It's still the NFL. I mean, nobody,
Yeah.
unless you're a crazy amount of team, you're gonna drop a game here or there. So Ryan's
Also,
picking the
Stephon Diggs
Chargers.
may not be playing. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything on that.
Okay.
Not a good scene, and especially with their defensive tackle being roped up and stuff like that too. We don't talk about that kind of stuff on here. We don't get political. None of that.
That's not political.
I know it's not political. I'm saying like charges,
Man,
like
he choked
arrests.
out
Like
his
we
chef,
don't.
but we don't want to get political around here, you know.
Yeah.
Again,
That food must have been
Ryan
trash.
cut me off
That
before I
food
could
must
finish
have
my
been
sentence.
garbage.
They did not cook that chicken well enough. Anyway.
That was a raw chicken.
Yeah.
All right, Troy, who are you picking to win?
Drake May.
All right, and crap, I didn't even really think about this game, honestly.
Yeah, you're thinking about
Give me the Patriots. I just agree. I agree with Sean completely that the Chargers' offensive line is like a D2 school's offensive line right now. So for that reason, I don't even know who's on the New England Patriots defensive line really, but I feel like they're probably going to end up getting like 5 sacks solely because of how bad their offensive line is. All right, so moving on to the last game of the night, the Steelers and the Texans on Monday Night Football. I'm going to send Ryan this picture that I saw on whatever social media it was, but it was so funny that the Steelers and Ravens game, it showed the picture of the field goal. Obviously, it came down to the field goal, and it said in the middle, like between the posts, if the Ravens would have made it, it said Tomlin fired. And on the two outside the field goal post, it said Harbaugh fired. That did happen, hopefully looking at the next head coach of the Giants and John Harbaugh. But the Steelers make the playoffs here. They're going to be playing the Texans. Pap, who is your winner?
I'm going to take the Texans, but I'm going to just give, if you guys want a good laugh, go over to Tyler Loop's comments and Fiance's comments.
That's not a
They
good
are
laugh,
just
bro.
hilarious. Scrolling up and down, that is hilarious. I mean, talk about a rookie just instantly tarnishing his name for about 5 years to come. I mean, you have one job, bro.
You
You
feel
go
for the
out and
kid though
make
because
one.
he's had a
could've,
good year.
like, gone some more yards. They had a timeout and, like,
40. It was like a 40-yarder.
It was a 44-yarder. An NFL kicker should be making, and it was
Whoa.
dead middle too. He was like middle of the
Okay,
field.
dude. He got nervous. What do you want from him? He's a kid.
I've said this before. I don't try and say I could like make the kicks myself, but I just say that's your one job. That's all you're doing at practice for 18 weeks. You should be able to like make kicks. That's just my thought process. Garrett, who are you picking to win here between Pap? Did you ever even pick a winner?
Yeah, I
He
said
picked
Texans.
the Texans.
He said Texans. Okay, Garrett, who are you picking to win here?
My head says Steelers, but my heart says Texans. Let me say, let's go with, I'll follow suit with old Andrew. I'll go with Texans.
Oh, call me Andrew. That's cute.
Yeah, don't
Sean?
get used to it.
The side of the ball, we are going with the Texans.
All right, Ryan?
There is a very good chance that a touchdown is not scored in this game.
offensively.
Really?
A singular
Accurate.
touchdown. The
Well,
Texans can hit at least one Jaden Higgins bomb on like whoever
Nico
they're
Collins.
Do you have that
Bang.
much faith in CJ Stroud?
I have more faith than bro. A-Rod's like probably popping Percocets before the game, and he came and
Perky
threw a
Rogers
20-yard
is
check
a
down.
dog, dude. What are you talking about?
All I'm saying is take the under on this game. I'm taking the Texans because I think their defense is better, but their offense is so bad.
All right, Troy?
Yeah, dude. As much as I'd like to say Perk Rogers is gonna get it done, that Texans defense has been so good. They've single-handedly carried this team to the playoffs. And if CJ Stroud can even throw like 5-yard outs, then I think they'll win the game.
All right. Yeah, full sweep here. I'm going Texans. I literally think this defense could carry them to a Super Bowl. Like that defense is that good where it could, in fact, carry them to a Super Bowl. And just want to shout out Aaron Rodgers. If you guys haven't seen the clips, his Super Mario celebration that he hit after that freaking touchdown, the full like exclamation point, like that shit was pretty freaking
shit
awesome.
turns
And
me
I'm
up,
glad I'm glad his career didn't end on like a 30-second like drive because his kicker missed a PAT and they were going to lose by a point. I'm very happy a historic career didn't end in that sense. So that being said, that's through all of the games here. We're going to ask one final question here to wrap up the episode. Obviously, the biggest storyline around the NFL over the last 24 hours was the Ravens firing John Harbaugh. An 18-year career with the Ravens. Obviously, I'm happy about that he got fired, but that's for other reasons. But we're going to predict here real quick because obviously it's been shown that he wants to stay in coaching. He's not going to take a year off or anything like that. And there's already teams calling. I think they said there was 3 teams that currently have head coaches that have not been fired. We're calling about John Harbaugh and like, hey, would you be interested if we did fire whoever it is? If we did fire him, would you come here? So obviously a lot of teams want John Harbaugh. We're going to predict here. We're just going to throw a team out there. Whoever you think has the highest chance of getting John Harbaugh. Just going to go around the circle. Let's see what everybody has to say. Pap, where do you think John Harbaugh will be coaching next year?
Atlanta.
Okay. Garrett?
G-Man.
Sean?
I'm going to say Atlanta as well.
Ryan?
I think he goes to New York to the Giants.
All right. Troy?
It's gonna be Atlanta, dude. Why'd they have to fire him, dude? Bro, like we had
No.
the Panthers had things so good down there when that dude was coaching, dude. Oh my god. Now we're gonna have to
It's
play
okay.
against John Harbaugh twice a year, and we're gonna lose now. We're not gonna be able to beat the
No, it's-
Falcons.
No,
I
yeah, because they'll go
panicked.
9-8. They'll go 9-8, and they'll win the division every year, going 9-8. They'll be
Yeah, little homer
dominant going 9-8.
little homer pick here, but I'm picking the Giants. I mean, this was
Gosh, man.
a guy the last 6 weeks when the talks first started talking about him getting fired. I was like, dear Lord, please pay him however much money he
That's
wants.
what I'm saying. Pay him the
Make him
bank.
the next coach of the Giants.
Make
That's
him
what
the
the
mayor.
Giants need. Yep.
Make
we
him the
need
mayor of New York.
We're not
That's
getting
getting
into that.
political.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
come on.
getting
Yeah,
political.
yeah, never mind.
We'll say give him a key to the city. We'll,
No,
we'll
yeah,
say
there we
that.
go.
We'll say that avenue. That's
Give
what
him,
we're
give
gonna
him
go
a
with. That.
penthouse. I mean, give him whatever that man needs. I mean, just pay him as much money as he needs to.
Kicker, maybe a kicker.
Hey, we got a good kicker now. Rookie Ben Sauls. Remember the name. Lefty kicker. Remember the name. He didn't miss a
Remember him.
single kick over the last 3 weeks.
A rookie with John Harbaugh, maybe when the season's on the line.
He's going to be a second-year guy next year. Second-year guy next year.
Oh, wow.
Just want to also, like, as we're talking about kickers, the Younghoe Koo kick will go down as the worst kick in NFL history. Just saying
that
that
was
as
a
now that the
beauty.
season is
Yeah,
over.
that was horrible.
That cost
I've
him
never
some
seen
money.
someone chunk a kick like someone swinging their pitching wedge out on the golf course. That was the first time I've ever seen that. All right. So, anybody got any final thoughts here before we wrap this episode up? Anybody?
Panthers or
No?
Ads?
All right. The Troy
fun in
and Pat
Cancun,
hate
dude.
will never stop. Troy will always banter the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, and Pat will always do the same back to Troy. All right. So that's going to do it for this week's episode. Go check out all of the YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Birch site, all of that stuff. Be on the lookout for a video here me and Ryan will be making, talking about all the future of All Sports Focus Network with all the different podcasts, the NBA one, the NHL, the college basketball, working on an MLB one. We're really spreading it out here. We're really living up to the name.
Where's
Troy,
my shout,
what is
bro?
that face for?
Where's my shout?
And the
Yes.
UFC one,
Thank
I
you.
apologize. I knew in the top of my head I was forgetting one. I just couldn't think of the sport. So, yes, those are all the new ones. Me and Ryan will be making a video explaining all of that stuff. So, nobody has anything else. We really appreciate you guys, and we will see you guys next week.